Hey guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Lindsay, the Housewife Historian, and today we're talking the Real Housewives of New Jersey. Yes, that's correct, the Real Housewives of New Jersey. We don't have the new season yet, but they surely are making the headlines. So before we get into that, guys, make sure you support my channel by hitting that like button and subscribe. It's a great free way to support my channel. And we're going to be talking again about the Real Housewives of New Jersey, the lawsuit that we've seen come from the Daily Beast last week. And we're going to talk a little bit about if we may or may not see the Real Housewives premiere the new season in April. Is it a possible longer delay? And we're going to break some of that down. So, yes, guys, make sure you hit that like button. And I wanted to also say that I apologize to my regular listeners and subscribers and followers because in the last couple of months, I have not been on YouTube like I used to be, like I normally was. And I understand that giving the content to the people, YouTube's a little bit more about the details. It's a longer video. I know that when people are searching for content on YouTube, looking for housewives, you guys want the details. You don't want just the meat and potatoes. You want the meat and the potatoes and the side of corn and a piece of bread and a salad and a water and your dessert and the works, right? So I get it. It's fine. I understand. And I'm going to do a better job of trying to get that over to you guys. So make sure you have your alerts on. Let's get into this. We're going to be talking about the Real Housewives of New Jersey and this lawsuit. I'm going to break it down to you as easily, quickly as I can. And of course, giving you guys all of the details about it. Bo Dietl did make a comment. His official statement was made to David Yontef on his Instagram, Behind the Velvet Rope. He spoke about it, and that's his statement. He made it his official statement. So we're going to talk about that. And then we're also, again, we're going to talk about the Real Housewives of New Jersey premiere. Why are we getting a later premiere? We were supposed to get it in April. What's happening? Why this could be happening and what it could mean for the ladies, especially with their pays. Because if they aren't working and stuff is not airing, they are not getting paid. So let's get into this. Last week, we were shocked when the Real Housewives of New Jersey's Teresa G, the longest running housewife, OG triple triple, her husband, Louie, was slapped with another lawsuit from a group of attorneys, including a gentleman named Kevin Johnson, who is allegedly representing Vanessa, Louie's ex. Now, if you guys don't know, I'm going to rewind a little bit. Again, I'm going over some details here. Louie was in court with Vanessa on and off, filed lawsuit, counterclaim, back and forth. I think, my goodness, since we've known him, okay? He's been in some sort of court fight with Vanessa. And we've seen people take sides, and some people be on her side, and some people be on Teresa's side, yada, yada, yada. We're not on anyone's side. I'm not going to talk poorly about the woman. I think that it's a tough situation, right? So we're going to talk about the details. And the detail is that Kevin Johnson is her attorney and he is on this case. What they are alleging, let's go over a couple of the major players. First, we have Bo Dietl, who is a 16-year veteran of the New York City Police Department, and he went on to start his own private investigative firm, which I'm assuming is what he's referencing when he says he's been in business for over 40 years. Okay. And then we have whom I'm assuming to be Louie's attorney. Her name is Danielle. She's been practicing law for the last 20 years. She has her law license in multiple states. And the other team is alleging that they received an email that included physical, like photos and audio and recordings of Vanessa that was obtained by a private investigator. And they are alleging, listen to this, they are alleging that um, somebody somehow sent an email sorry guys, I just wanted to make sure that you guys So I wanted to come out and go back in. I got a phone call and sometimes that interrupts. It's such a pain. Anyways, guys, like I was saying, so she's claiming that, well, they're claiming, Vanessa's team is claiming that they intercepted this email that had this information that had been obtained by a private investigator that they had hired to follow Vanessa during last trial. Okay. So they're alleging that Louie and Bo hired a private investigator to follow Vanessa. And they said that they acted unlawfully and unethically by doing this, amongst other things. Now, where I come from, it's not illegal to hire a private investigator. I can't think that they're really trying to use that as an excuse, but I'm sure they were just using it as a technicality. But I can't think that Louie Ellis's team would be careless enough to forward an email that would have such incriminating information, audio and video, and send it to Kyle. Why did I just say Kyle? I'm so sorry. Incriminating anything, and send an email to the wrong person. Like, why would Louie and Bodito have incriminating evidence or have information, right, that did not put Vanessa, his ex, in a good light that they were going to use for court? Why on earth would he forward that to the wrong person, to somebody on Vanessa's team? It doesn't make any sense until you find out, thank you, NYC Gal Out, that there's another gentleman that's involved in this, and he owned his own law firm for a short amount of time. And at that point, he owned the law firm. I'm so sorry. I was just looking at something right here. He owned the law firm for a short amount of time. It was a law firm that Danielle worked at and Kevin worked at. So for me, bingo, bingo. Obviously, they both worked at the same company for a short amount of time. She left and went somewhere else to work. He was still there or still had access. It was a small company, if you will, and was able to probably access her email that way. It probably was not a mistake. It probably was not emailed to him. It wasn't some glitch in the matrix. It was that he probably went looking for it, in my opinion. And of course, everything in this video is alleged for entertainment purposes only. Regardless, what he went looking for, he found it and he used it. And he's saying that Louie and Bodito basically allegedly got information on Vanessa. They obtained it illegally or unethically, okay, to use against Vanessa when they were going to court, okay? Now, these are pretty strong accusations. And they're strong accusations because, and this is what I've explained to people, she is probably in a financial tight spot, okay? She lost the last case, the last civil case. She lost it. And she is going to be responsible for whatever the settlement was that ever Louie was taking her to court for, which was, I think, a substantial amount of money, which was why they fought for so long, which still doesn't make any sense if he's a millionaire, but whatever. I mean, I'm sorry, if I'm over here a millionaire times however many, like, I don't know, I would probably pay the woman. I would probably pay the woman to have some peace in my life. Like, if you have that much money, because Louie is the one that tells us that he has all this money. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just saying the man tells us that he makes millions of dollars a day. Put your money where your mouth is. What do you mean? Pay this. Just pay her. If you got millions and she's asking for a couple $100,000, like, and you know that it's gonna put yourself at peace and bring peace to your life and bring peace to everyone's life. And if you claim this woman is unhealthy and she's toxic, or she's stalking you, she's stalking Teresa's daughters, whatever these were allegations, of course, that made the circuit, then I would say that I probably wouldn't want to be going to court with her. I probably wouldn't want her to know anything about my life or what was happening or what I was doing. And you're kind of opening a door for somebody, if they do have unhealthy, I don't want to use the word obsession, because I think in today's day and age, we can all obsess over anything. It's just the way of thinking. I think it's the fast-paced lifestyle, all the things we have to worry about and take care of and remember and do. And I think that people's anxiety, an overthinker could say that they're obsessing, right? So it's just difficult to use the word obsessed. But if you have someone that is highly what's the word? I don't even, okay, we'll say obsessed. Obsessed with you. You think they're obsessed with you, or they're overthinking you too much, thinking about you too much, uh, looking for resentment, whatever the case may be, you're going to want to probably not trigger that a lot, and you know, out of sight, out of mind. That's just my belief, right? It's easy for me to say. I'm not in the situation, but I just know that if I had millions, I wouldn't care about a couple 100,000. I'd probably just give it to her. I understand, of course, that the principle of the matter and the, you know, situation, but I just want to give you guys the facts, and you can form your own opinions. And I've always said everyone has a seat at the table here at my channel, as long as you relay your opinion respectfully. That's all. Just be respectful. We don't all have to have the same opinions and thoughts. That's why we're here, to talk, to chat. We love Bravo. You know, we're not talking bad about anyone. We're just discussing what's going on with this lawsuit. So including Bo's name is pretty ballsy, if you ask me. Because she's really, that's, you know, now you're coming after him, basically. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't just go throwing people's names on lawsuits. People do not like that. Go back and watch The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, when Taylor and her husband sent a lawsuit. Who did they send a lawsuit to? They sent, maybe it was a cease and desist or something. Was it to Adriana Malouf? And then like a year and a half later, 2 years later, when it was going to come out about her surrogate, they did the same thing to Brandy with legal papers. Crazy. But yeah, it's just a thing amongst housewives and the community. Like, civil suits are not good. Even Juicy Joe said he was never sued until he built that mansion. And when they built that mansion and were on TV, he started getting sued all the time. Now, regardless, they're gonna have to write a response to this civil suit that was filed. And typically what happens with civil suits, so anyone can file a civil suit, okay? I could file a civil suit against you if I want to, and say whatever I want. And what I will do is I'll go file it with my court, the jurisdiction. I need to establish jurisdiction first. And they take it, and what happens, depending on the state, is they send that to the person you're trying to sue, and the person that you're trying to sue has, usually it's between 14 to 21 business days to respond with an answer. So where I live, what happens would be, I would file, hypothetically, say I'm suing Louie. I would file my suit against Louie. It would be, he would be served with the paperwork. Then he would reach out to his attorney. His attorney would write up what's called like an answer, almost. And of course, putting it in the proper format and then filing that with the courts. So a lot of times when you see people who have their garnished, their wages garnished for anything, maybe for they moved out and didn't pay all the rent, and their um landlord took them to court, and now their paychecks are being garnished. So basically, that happens whenever you just don't respond, okay? Because that's what they really want to happen most of the time. Because they're talking on, if it's something that you voted for a long time, they're going to tack on interest. They're going to tack on all of their attorney fees. A great example for me was I went to Kent State University after my mom, or I'm sorry, before my mom had passed. My mom passed and I quit going to school, but I never went through the technical withdraw. They had like a system how they wanted you to withdraw. If you withdrew, you had to go fill out a paper and you had to have all your professors sign it and do all of this legwork, right? Well, obviously I didn't do any of that. And they started to send me a bill a couple of years later. I think I called the university, I explained it, I filled out paperwork, I gave it to them, I did everything that they wanted me to do, and they were just like not budging on it. They're like, you owe us all this money for these classes, and I'm like, I didn't even attend the classes, nobody attended the classes, like, how are you going to charge me for a service that I haven't, you know, received? And so this went on for a while. I would say probably like 5, 6 years, right? I go away for 3 years. I come home and I reach out to them and I'm like, hey, by this time it's been transferred to this law firm, which is who I was dealing with prior. Not nice, not helpful. Of course, they don't, they just want the money because they're getting a portion of it. And I tried to work with them. I called. I'm like, hi, I just got home. I've been away for 3 years. I was a warden of the state. I'm surprised since you are the state, the attorney. Because what happens is, depending on where the money, if it's money that comes from like the government as like grant money versus money that you would owe like to the state, it goes to the Ohio Attorney General's office. That's who starts collecting for the university, because it's a university and there's some sort of like loophole and protection for universities in any sort of type of situation where university says you owe money, and guess what, they said it, so you owe it most likely. But anyways, they fast forward, they didn't care that I wanted to get this taken care of. They didn't care about taking any of the interest or attorney fees or nothing. By 2020, they had taken, it was like, I don't even know, between like 3,500 probably and $4,000, and turned it in and said I owed them over $11,000. They filed a lawsuit. They did it the year of COVID because COVID had changed the rules and regulations. Prior to that, you had to be served and sign for the civil lawsuit. But when they took me to court, that had been changed due to COVID, and I got it in my mailbox. And I thank God every day that I didn't move, that I didn't not get my mail that day, that thank God all of the paperwork fit in there and I got that civil suit. Because what would have happened is they would have filed that. And if I didn't respond within those 20 days, then they would automatically be granted their civil suit. So all it takes is you not showing up and they are granted the lawsuit. And so therefore that would take basically $3,500 and add interest onto it, plus the amount of any sort of legal fees. Hi, how are you? Thank you. How was the giveaway? That's next week. Oh, where'd the milk come from? Somebody just donated it. Oh, well, that was nice. Thank you. So then if you take the interest with the $3,500 times interest and then times any attorney fees, it came out to almost $11,000. So if they do that and they take you to court and you don't, basically, if you don't show up to court, you don't say anything, then the lawsuit is basically, they win everything. So that's a lot of difference. Do you guys know what I'm saying? $3,500 to get to $11,000 is a big difference. It's like $6,500 more than what was actually owed. So these things happen. Sorry guys, my uncle dropped me off milk. I didn't know where it came from. These things do happen, and all you have to do is not show up and not respond, and they automatically win. So what happens here, back to Louie and Vanessa, is the other side files it, then they will respond within that time period. Okay, they respond, guess what happens? The court sends that response to Vanessa's team, and Vanessa's team then has 15 days again to respond to that, right? So sorry guys, I was looking at that. So then after that, then they will set up court date. So you have two chances. You have the first time that they serve you with the lawsuit, you respond with an answer within 15 or 14 business days, and then a second time. So, and then you will appear in court. That's how that works. So we won't hear anything for probably a while before they actually have to appear in court. Of course, the court wants them to mediate and to try to solve this if they can prior to going to court, because of course court costs money. And if it's something they can obviously mediate and get it taken care of, that's what they want to do. But that's probably not going to be the case with Vanessa and Louie and Bo Dietl. Bo Dietl then went, and again, I think it's very ballsy to be suing Bo Dietl. He went and made a statement. I'm going to give you guys that statement here in a second. His claim is basically that there's no evidence that they are jealous, that he is happy to meet them in court because he wants to see the evidence that they have, because obviously they will have evidence. They'll have what's called a discovery. And at that time, everyone, both parties will have to enter into discovery all of the evidence that they have for their side. And both saying, like, I can't wait to see what this evidence is. How are you going to try to say that we were hacking computers? And again, guys, NYC Gal out put the connection. She made the connection and said that at one point, the gentleman was working for a company. This Kevin Johnson, the one that's representing Vanessa, who says he intercepted the email. He was working for a company where Louie Morales' attorney was working at one point. So is it possible that he had access to her email? Absolutely. Absolutely, it's possible. Again, everything in this is alleged. I want to find his original statement for you guys. It's on the Behind the Velvet Rope Instagram page. If you are on Instagram, I would check it out. It's also been put into Reality Blurb. Behind the Velvet Rope. Sorry, guys. Behind the Velvet Rope. Reality Blurb. If you don't know, Bo actually did an interview with David Yontid after the Real Housewives of New Jersey season aired. It was a good interview, I thought. And Bodito was obviously showing him love and loyalty because he commented under his Instagram, David Yontid's Behind the Velvet Rope Instagram, and that he made that his official statement. So that says something to me, I think. Where did it go? Sorry, you guys, I'm trying. Let's see here. I don't know why it doesn't. It's going to tell me. Oh, probably because I didn't spell his name right. Reality Blurb. I swear, when I have fake nails on, it slows me up so much. Behind the Velvet Rope Reality Blurb. RHONJ. Let's do Louie Ellis lawsuit. Is it DIE? I think so. Let's see if this brings it up for us. Still not. Jeez. I wonder if it'll take me to my Instagram here. It should. Oh, I know where I can find it. Where are you at, Melissa's Old Nose? So funny. Melissa's Old Nose. If you're on Twitter, you guys should check out her account. Honest to God, she's so funny. It's Melissa's Old Nose on Twitter. That's the handle. While I'm looking for his original statement, let me talk to you guys a little bit about the Real Housewives of New Jersey in this season that we're going to be getting this year, that we're supposed to be getting in April, but I don't know if that's going to be happening. I've been hearing from two different sources that we're not going to be getting the Real Housewives of New Jersey in April. And it's a shame. And I think there's a couple of different things that are going to factor into that. I think it's kind of surprising. Like, how do you tell fans that whenever you guys just what did they do? Oh, well, they like gave us a clip of it. They filmed for 3 months, guys. They filmed only for 3 months, and they gave us a clip to the new season at BravoCon. They had just wrapped up filming. It hadn't even been that long. I mean, literally days. And they had a clip from the party with Fuda and Teresa, and that's what they were using as a clip for next season. And it's like, it's November. And now it's April, and we might not even get the season like we thought. And so there's a couple of different reasons for that, but also we have to remember this potentially could affect the ladies because it's going to affect their income, guys. That's what's crazy about it, is that if they are not filming, if they are not working, they are not getting paid. Okay? That's the thing. Why can I not? Why is my thing dinging a million times? So a couple of things I think that are going to contribute to this year's season that could be a potential issue and a potential reason that we, one, might not get the season at all, or two, it's going to be on a severe delay. Number one, the first reason is going to be they do not have enough content. Bravo does not have enough content. They only filmed for 3 months. That's not a long time. I.e., The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. They filmed for 3 months, okay? That's why we got not a great season, right? And we even got a girls' trip, okay? And the girls' trip accounted for, what, 2-3 episodes at least? They only filmed for 3 months. That's not very many holidays. That's like one trip to the shore. They know fans are tired of Melissa and Joe and Matt and Margaret and Joseph and all that shit. And they brought in 3 new women that nobody gave any F's about. I hate to say that. I really do. But casting in New Jersey, get your life together. Production in New Jersey, get your life together. It's like they have sat and let Teresa and her family and Joe Gorga be the main storyline, the main conflict for years and years on The Real Housewives of New Jersey. And when they don't have that conflict, they don't have a show. That's a problem. That's a problem. And that's why they're having a major problem right now. They only had 3 months of filming. Let me tell you why they could have short seasons before and they could film before. Because Teresa and Joe gave them so much content, they didn't have to film that long. All of the people that are working on The Real Housewives of New Jersey are used to being supportive actresses. They're supportive roles. They're supported. They're not main characters. Like typically in the Real Housewives community, every season or every year, you're getting a different housewife who some people call it on the chopping block. Some people want to say they're a target, whatever you want to call it. You're getting that, right? And sadly, because the Real Housewives of New Jersey has been so dependent on Teresa and Joe and their family conflict and drama that they don't know how to act. They don't know how to bring it, right? They just don't. And they don't seem smart enough, dedicated enough, want it bad enough to make it happen. And I don't know if that's just because of the age group we're talking about. I don't know if it's because they're just used to getting that paycheck, the production. You know what I'm saying? Like they're just used to giving us beef ravioli. And I don't want beef ravioli from the Real Housewives in New Jersey. Like if Teresa didn't give us beef ravioli, I don't want to take beef ravioli from them. Like, why can't we get some people in here that know what is like can give us housewives? I don't understand how you cast 3 new housewives and none of them work. None of them. I mean, the one girl was pretty. She was a Sports Illustrated model, but no one took much interest in her. And then, last year we got Danielle and Rachel. So we got 2 new housewives last year, which is crazy. And then they bring on 3 new housewives this season. But again, guys, they didn't work. That's why we didn't hear anything about them. That's why, I mean, it's sad, but it's true. And it's concerning because it's like literally you guys are so dependent on Teresa that you don't even really know how to cast because you're casting for supporting actress roles, if you ask me. Not actress, but reality star roles, if you ask me. So we got that. And then we also have the fact they did not take a cash trip. Now, if you guys didn't know, they were planning on taking a cash trip, but a fire broke out. This is so crazy. There was a fire, and the location that they were going to be staying at in the Berkshires, which is crazy. Why were they even going there in the first place? Burnt down. How does that happen? I don't know. But what I want to tell you is the rumors about Teresa not giving Melissa any time of day are very true. And Melissa and Teresa did not have contact throughout this episode. Okay. That's very, very true. And producers wanted it. Why do you think they wanted it so bad? They didn't have any content. They didn't have nothing else. You know what I'm saying? They didn't know actually how bad it was until they got done filming. Now they're trying to put together a season. They realize how bad it is, but they wanted a sit down between Teresa and Melissa, and Teresa simply refused. And I cannot blame her one little bit. And you know what? I would be like, bravo, put your money where your mouth is. Put your money where your mouth is. You guys have, profited and monetized off this conflict with my family, which, hey, I have too, right? We've all made some money off of it, but don't expect me every single season to come in here and take it. Like, give it to somebody else. Let somebody else deal with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, put it on somebody else. There's nothing wrong with that. And it's just like none of the other ladies can handle it. They can't carry it. They can't contribute to it. The most storyline, the most intense it gets with any of the other women is simply because they're fighting with Teresa. You know, that's it. I think that Jennifer will probably give us a great season with Danielle Cabral. I think that there's going to be some conflict there. But again, I don't even think that's going to be till the end of the season, unless if they really clip everything together, you know, and just start splicing stuff to make it happen. It's possible that they do that, but I hope not. So only filmed for 3 months. They don't have a cash trip. I think that producers thought they were going to be able to have Teresa and Melissa in close quarters for several days. There was going to be no way that they were going to be able to eliminate Melissa and Teresa not speaking because they were in such close quarters. They would have been in such close quarters. So I really think production was banking on that, which means they should have really busted their ass when it came time and the house burned down. And instead of saying, oh, well, we're just not going to do a cash trip, I would have been on the phone with I don't care if we would have stayed in a tent. Get your camping shit, okay? Let's go. Everyone be ready. Like, come on, you're Bravo, you're NBC. You're telling me you couldn't find another spot for 5, 6 women? Crazy. So it's like, you get what you put in. It's like anything else. You know, if we're getting shitty producers, we're getting shitty production team, we're getting everyone that's just been around for so long, riding the wave of, you know, the conflict of Teresa's family and her brother. There's riding the wave of it. Everyone giving us beef ravioli. And you know, I don't know. Not my opinion, but that's what we're getting, okay? The real Bo Dietl commented. Here is his comment. Okay, guys, this is his official statement. He gave it to David Yonta from Behind the Velvet Rope. Official statement from the real Bo Dietl. Again, him and Louie being named in this lawsuit, alleging that they hacked computers and acted unlawfully and unethically when obtaining evidence against Louie's ex during the trial. It says, another lie. Boy, why are people so jealous of my hard work and success? In this lying allegation, how can there be a case where there's no evidence? Just another fool trying to get a lie in the press. This time, I think he will be dealt with legally and through the New York State Bar Association. He's talking about Kevin Johnson. Kevin Johnson, again, I think is the attorney spearheading this, and he's representing Vanessa, Louie's ex. There is a reason I've been in business for almost 40 years. I will not commit a crime or will not allow my client to commit one with my knowledge. This clown attorney will be shown for what he is. I'm preparing for a major libel and slander case. Louie commented and said, Bo, thank you for telling the truth. These attention-seeking psychos. Hashtag fatal attraction. Hashtag gone girl. Crazy. I'm laughing because it's just crazy to me. And again, I'm like, why don't you just pay her the money? I mean, I'm sure he has lots of great reasons why he doesn't want to pay her the money. But like, damn, at this point, if you are literally, like I said, you're on Instagram and TikTok and stuff, and you're saying you're making millions of dollars a day, a month, a week, whatever it is, I'm going to need Louie to just pay that woman her money and let her go about her life. Okay, go find her somebody. You know, whether it's him that put her through a lot, it's clear the woman has been through a lot. That's all. She's been through a lot. And sometimes you win some and sometimes you lose some, right? And maybe not in this specific instance is Louie wrong, or maybe not in this specific instance is Louie indebted to this woman. However, you win some, you lose some, right? Like, I believe that sometimes we reap what we sow. And that maybe not, and maybe we'll be in a position where it's super, super unfair to us, right? Like, very unfair, like, obviously unfair. And we have to take it on the chin, right? We take it on the chin. It sucks. Like, this is so unfair. I can't even believe that this is happening to me. For example, when somebody hits your car with no insurance and they drive off, like, that's unfair. Why is it unfair? Because your car is damaged, right? Well, you have insurance. Well, yeah, I have insurance, but I'm going to have to make a claim on my insurance and pay my deductible, $500. And then guess what's happened after that? My insurance is going to go up. So Yeah, that's unfair. That actually happened to me a couple of months ago, so that's why I use that as an example. This is unfair when people do that shit. Ugh. Anyways, is this one of those situations where it's unfair for him? And he was like, it's unfair for him. And he's like, basically just trying to be like, this is so not right. And just sticking up for the point of principle, which is possible. It's very possible. But regardless, we don't know the ins and outs of these people's lives. And we can only speculate. We only know what they tell us and they show us. Some people tell us. And so that's what's going on with that lawsuit. I know, again, it's very confusing. If you have any questions, you guys can always email me at housewifehistorian2022@gmail.com. I do answer emails. I know that I told you guys I'm turning over a new leaf. I'm sorry that I've been neglectful of my YouTube channel. I love all of you guys that have supported me and followed me from the beginning. I'm going to be putting out lots more content for you guys. I'm going to be in the comments. So I hope that you guys can put your alerts on and get back on the train. Take a ride with me. I promise I'm fun. I'm pretty popular sometimes, not always, but sometimes. So, all right, guys. Well, I hope that you guys have a great day. Please comment your thoughts and let me know what you're thinking. And if there's any questions that you have, again, housewifehistorian2022@gmail.com. And have a great day. Bye.